The in-text citations. Here we are in the first paragraph. In the very first sentence of the paper, in their own words, the writer mentions how Johnny Manziel was suspended in the opening game. It was because he'd been signing autographs for money the previous off-season. Notice at the end of that first sentence they put Wetzel in parentheses. That means they took this information about the suspension from their research in an article or website written by Wetzel. They put the information in their own words. You'll notice there's no quotation marks around that first sentence, but they still give credit to where they learned that information. Also in that first paragraph they have a picture of Johnny Manziel signing the autographs, and they got that from the website Signing Autographs, so they gave credit. You'll see that I have the in-text citations highlighted in aqua on your computer screen. I'm going over to page 2 now. You'll see near the top of page 2, they say according to Johnny Shapiro, and then they give the sentence in a controlled budget, etc. That is a lead-in quotation. They gave credit to the author of where they found the information, Johnny Shapiro, and they took that sentence word from Shapiro's article or website. So they put it in quotation marks. You'll notice in the next highlighted sentence below that, according to Sean Gregory, education is a struggle in all sports at the University of Connecticut. They wrote that sentence in their own words. That's why there's no quotations marks around it. But even though they wrote it in their own words, they learned that information from Sean Gregory. So they gave credit to Sean Gregory for where they learned that information about the University of Connecticut. Whether you copy information from your articles or put it in your own words, every time you mention something you learned from research, you need to give credit for it. At least 2 times per body paragraph. 2 or 3 times would be the minimum. I'm scrolling down, lower down in that first body paragraph. You'll see it says for student athletes in general, especially those who do not make it past collegiate athletics, 4 years of education will wind up being more valuable than any paycheck they would receive. See the quotation marks around that sentence? That means they copied it word for word from Shapiro's article or website, and they gave credit to Shapiro. That's their third citation in that body paragraph. That's about perfect. That's what we're looking for. I'm going down to the second body paragraph towards the end of that second page, and they say according to Jeffrey Dorfman, student athletes on athletic scholarships are essentially paid already because they receive free tuition, room, meal plans, and some money for books and miscellaneous expenses. See how there's quotation marks around that sentence? That means it's copied word for word. And they give credit to where they found it in the article or website by Jeffrey Dorfman. Every time you take research from one of your sources, you give credit. There on the top near the top of page 3, they give another quote from Dorfman. Non-revenue sports means using money generated by the revenue sports. Credit to Dorfman. And that's the last citation for that body paragraph. They had 2. Now toward the last paragraph on page 3, they have a quotation from the website Getting Benched. Men and women are treated differently in sports, etc. there at the bottom of page 3. So it's a quote, so they copy it word for word, put it in quotation marks, and they give credit to the source Getting Benched. You'll notice to this point, they've cited something from Wetzel on page 1, Signing Autographs on page 1. That's 2 different sources. Johnny Shapiro on the top of page 2, Sean Gregory on the top of page 2, now Jeffrey Dorfman on the bottom of page 2 and top of page 3. So they've cited 4 different sources so far in their paper. That's very good. You want to cite from at least 4 different sources in your paper. Now we're on to page 4. At the top of page 4, they have a quotation from Michael Simzak. Notice how they put the sentence in quotation marks because they copied it exactly from Simzak's article or website, and they gave credit to Simzak. So they cited from 5 different sources in their paper, and each body paragraph has at least 2 citations. Some of the citations are in the writer's own words, which makes it a paraphrase. Other citations are copied exactly from the source, which makes it a quote. That's very good that they have a mix. You don't want your paper to be all quotes or all paraphrases. You would like to have a mix. And that's how we handle the in-text citations for the research paper. Next up, I'll talk about works cited page.